In this tutorial, I'll be running through some common strategies for improvement across the first 3 principles of EI, outlined in the mixed model of emotional intelligence. These are self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. The remainder will be covered in the next lesson. If we start with self-awareness, this is really the foundation of emotional intelligence. In the last video, I mentioned that being self-aware meant understanding your own emotions, your strengths and weaknesses, your values, and how they affect your thoughts and behaviours. But how might we get to this level of understanding? Luckily, there are several well-documented strategies. The first of which is keeping a journal. Writing in a journal encourages reflection on your daily experiences, those thoughts and feelings that you have throughout the day. This reflective process can help you identify patterns in your behaviour and emotional responses throughout the day, leading to greater self-understanding. By regularly recording your thoughts, you can also track your personal growth over time. You can notice those changes in your emotional responses and better understand the triggers that might lead to certain emotions. The next is mindfulness. This is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings and any bodily sensations that are occurring during any moment in time. This heightened awareness can help you recognize and accept your emotional states, providing a foundation for emotional regulation. Mindfulness can be practiced through meditation, focused breathing, or even just a mindful walk where you notice what's around you at the time of your walk. All of which can train your brain to focus on the present, increasing the capacity for your emotional awareness and self-regulation. I've linked to several mindfulness practice apps and websites below. The third and last strategy here is feedback from peers, friends, and family. This can provide an outside perspective on your behaviour and emotional responses that you might not be aware of. This external insight can be invaluable in understanding how your actions and emotions are perceived by others, therefore highlighting areas for your personal growth. Constructive feedback can help you identify blind spots in your own self-awareness, maybe offering opportunities to improve your interpersonal skills and therefore your emotional intelligence. Self-regulation is managing your emotions in a healthy way, adapting to changing circumstances, and following through on your commitments. Strategies for improving self-regulation start with practicing self-control. This means managing those disruptive emotions and impulses effectively. By exercising self-control, you can resist short-term temptations in favour of, say, long-term goals, which leads to better decision-making and goal achievement. This ability is crucial in high-pressure situations where immediate reactions may not be in your best interest. Developing self-control helps in maintaining a level-headed approach, allowing you to respond to situations rather than just react impulsively. It can start with a pause, a deep breath, and some space to allow your critical thinking brain to do its job. Next is being mindful of your emotional reactions. Mindfulness in this context of your emotions means observing emotions without immediate judgment or reaction. By recognizing and acknowledging your feelings, you create a space between the emotional experience and your response to it. This awareness gives you the opportunity to choose how to react, rather than being swept away by your emotions. It's about noticing the rise of the emotion, understanding its source, and then deciding the best course of action that aligns with your existing values and objectives. The last strategy we'll look at here is expressing yourself appropriately. Effective self-regulation also involves expressing your emotions in a manner that is appropriate to the situation and respects both yourself and others. This means communicating your feelings clearly and assertively without any aggression or passivity. By doing so, you ensure that your emotional expression is constructive, contributing to positive interpersonal relationships. It's about finding the right balance between honesty and empathy and ensuring that your message is conveyed without causing unnecessary harm or misunderstanding. So recording each interaction you have in a reflective journal and seeing which of these strategies you've attempted and which ones were successful will build your confidence for future interactions and how you can approach them with a higher level of emotional intelligence. High EQ individuals are generally motivated by internal factors rather than external rewards. They are resilient, optimistic, and driven by a strong sense of purpose. Some strategies that we can use to enhance motivation include the following. Let's start with setting personal goals. Setting clear, specific, and attainable goals is foundational for motivation. Goals can give you a sense of direction and purpose, acting as a roadmap for where you want to go. The SMART framework of specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound is a widely endorsed approach for goal setting. It ensures that your goals are well defined within a certain time frame, making it easier to track progress and stay motivated. Next is understanding what drives you. Understanding your intrinsic motivations, those that come from within, such as personal growth, fulfillment, or passion for a subject, can significantly enhance your motivation. When you engage in activities that you find inherently rewarding, you're more likely to remain committed and motivated over time. This intrinsic motivation is more sustainable than extrinsic motivation, which relies on external rewards or pressures. The last strategy we'll look at here is focusing on longer-term objectives. By maintaining focus on those long-term objectives, whilst it can be challenging, especially when faced with immediate gratifications, which may distract you or derail you from your goals, you're able to sustain more focus, including regularly reminding yourself of that bigger picture and the long-term benefits of your actions. Breaking down long-term goals into shorter, more manageable tasks and celebrating those small victories along the way will help to keep your spirits high.